Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Now today I'm going to be potting on my little Homalocephala texensis cactus plant seedlings. Now these are seeds that I sown in February 2018, so they're over 2.5 years old. And they've been in the same pot since, and as you can see, they're pretty much desperate to be repotted. They're all touching each other and becoming a bit loose in the pot, so they need to have their own little individual pots, which I've got here. And these cacti were seeds that I got from the British Cactus and Succulent Society. At the end of the year, in December, they have a seed list that they send through to members. They're special seeds that you can purchase from them. So these, I did sow quite a lot, but these are the 5 that germinated, and it's a good job they didn't all germinate because they would have all been squashed in the pot. But time to pot them on now. And I've got these little square little pots here, probably about 5 centimetres wide and nice, and just the right sort of depth as well for these. I was lucky to get these pots from my friend Stephen, who I know from the Cactus and Succulent Society here in Belfast, but these sort of pots are quite hard to get normally. I know even on Amazon, very hard to get small pots for potting on seedlings, so I've been very lucky with these. So I've got 5 here for these 5 little cuties, and I've made the cactus mix up already. And I like to use a very well draining gritty cactus mix, and I like to use one that my wonderful friend Daz from Cacti Mania here on YouTube recommended, and I've been using it for a lot of the cacti, and I have to say I'm loving this mix, guys. So if you want to know how to make a really good well draining cactus mix, then do check out Daz's video. I'll link his video up above and also put it down below in the video description as well. And also, if you want to know how to grow cacti from seed and the method I like to use, then please check a video out I've made on how to grow cacti from seed. Links also up above and also down below in the video description. So let's get going then, guys. I'm going to be transplanting these little cuties. So I've got the soil mix already. And what I've done here is I filled a little bit at the bottom of all these pots. I wrote down all the little labels here and when they were sown, 2018. And what I like to do, these little pots here, I mean, they're very flimsy. I usually get them sort of like Poundland, you know, the Dollarland and all them places. Great for sowing seeds, and also when you're transplanting, they're sort of nice and easy just to take out. Now these are pretty much jumping out the pot anyway, but I'm going to be loosening up the soil here. And the soil I planted these in originally was a loam based soil with extra grit and a bit of perlite in as well. But as I say, I'm putting them into Daz's mix here that Daz has really recommended, because I'm really happy with this. So this is what I've sort of changed all of my cacti growing into now. But what you want to do is, when you're transplanting cactus seedlings, as long as you use a very well draining cactus mix, that's the most important thing to do. Everyone has their own preferences when it comes to the soil. Some people prefer to use more of a mineral, as in this case here. Some people prefer more organic, but as long as it's well draining, that's the most essential thing. So say loosening these up, and then they're going to be turning these. What I like to do here is use a little spoon or something blunt then to help ease these up. So I'm going around just to loosen them up a bit, just so I want to minimalise any damage to the roots as possible. I don't know how tight in these are, so taking these out. Oh, there you go, coming out fairly easy, so that's easy enough in this case. Right, what I want to do here, that's good. I haven't had to do any separation here. Sometimes the roots all grow together and it's hard to separate them. And these little cuties here, so just going to separate these and move all this soil away so I can see what I'm doing here. And always a good opportunity to check over the little root systems while you're doing it. Now sometimes, as I've transplanted a few cactus seedlings in the past, they'll all be, especially when they're in a pot and they're all growing together, they can all be a little bit tight, so I gently loosen them up. These have come away pretty easy, and it's always best to wait until the soil is dry before you transplant seedlings. And when they're relatively big enough, as you can see, these are large seedlings, they're 2.5 years old, so they're more like little young plants now, no problem. But if they're very tiny, I would always leave them to grow as large as you really can in the same pot before transplanting, and always transplant if you can in the spring and summer months rather than in the winter, and wait, as I say, mentioned earlier, the soil is dry before transplanting. And once I do transplant these, I'm not going to water these then for about 10 days, just to let the roots acclimatise to the new soil. and then I'll start to water them as normal for this time of year, which it's summer now, early summer, and letting the soil dry out in between waterings. And then I'm going to be overwintering these all dry with the rest of the cacti when the winter comes. So here we go. And what I'm going to be doing is just going to show you a couple for examples, and then I will finish them off and show you what they look like at the end. So as I say, a little bit of soil at the bottom, holding that up, a good little root system there, so no problem. The soil's come away very easily, but I think it was so dry. And holding it in the middle there, putting the soil around, and what you can do is sort of tap it a little bit to let the soil go around the edges. And sort of moving it a little bit around there. You don't want to be squashing it in too hard. What I like about this cactus mix as well is it just sort of falls wonderfully around the sides of the pot. A lot of soil you have to sort of push down, but this is just gorgeous mix, and they really love it. I think the pumice and the lava rock, there's something in this that cacti absolutely seem to love. I'm not kidding you. Ours have grown amazing since we switched to this soil mix. So Daz, you are a genius with this soil mix, recommending it. I always used sort of grit, perlite and sand with a loam based soil. Very happy with it, never really had any problems. But this soil mix is just the best ever. It really is. They seem to just grow so well. So that's the first little cutie. Then I'll show you the second one. And again, check the roots. The roots look really good on that. So cactus seedlings, as you see, there's not a lot of roots, but cactus seedlings never have many. Neither do cacti in general, because they store water in the plant body. So if you're repotting and the plant looks large but there's not much roots, that's quite normal with seedlings, as long as there's no signs of root mealybugs or vine weevils and the like. So here we go, tuck that in. Just showing you how I do it, and if you've got young seedlings you want to transplant, how to do it too. There you go, that's pretty much it. Just tap to make sure it's all go down to the bottom, and that's it. And I'm going to show you what they look like when they're all done. There you go guys, that's them all potted up nice and neat with their little labels on, and these little cuties, they should continue to thrive now they've got lots of space in their own little individual pots. And as I say, if you want to know how to grow cacti from seed, as I've mentioned before, the links will be up above and also down below in the video description. And if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents, then please do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. And I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of cactus power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye. Bye from these 5 little cuties.